What's up, boys? Guys, hope you guys are having a great day. I wanted to, hold on a second, I got a text message here. Ooh, Alan's Bike Shop, my bike is ready. Yes, let's go get that bike. I've been away from the bike for about a day. I scheduled an appointment to get my bike its normal tune-up and maintenance about 3 weeks ago. I was able to drop it in yesterday, and it's already ready today. So don't forget to schedule that appointment for your local bike shops because everyone is really busy right now. And let's get there. I saw this once in another YouTube, so let's see if it works. Here we go. It's like a magic snap of the fingers. 1, 2, 3. Ah, man, that was way faster. Here we are at Alan's Bike Shop. I'm gonna go in and get my bike. Let's also grab a pro tip on how to wash those bikes today. Here we go.
Hey guys, my name is Travis Claypool. I am one of the mechanics at Alan's Bike Shop, and today I'm going to run you through on how to wash your bike properly and some things to look out for. So it's really important that you pick a bike wash that isn't too abrasive. Most bike-specific bike washes are going to be all right. Here at Alan's we like to use Simple Green just because of how well it works. It works as a degreaser and also a cleaner. So once you hose your bike down, we're going to apply this stuff, and then we're gonna start scrubbing, and then I can kind of show you guys what to look for. So it's really important that you're not, we're gonna pick a really light jet stream. I don't wanna spray any water directly into bearings or anything. I just kind of wanna gently break down any dirt that is on the bike. So I'm just gonna lightly kind of sprinkler on there, just so we can get a nice little coat for the soap to start breaking down any dirt that's on the bike. I'm just gonna spray this kind of everywhere on the bike. I'm not gonna directly spray it in any bearings or anywhere I know that it'll break down grease where I don't want it to. So I start with the tires usually, and the Simple Green is really nice because it foams really well. So that just helps break down any really difficult dirt. Make sure you always get under the seat. That's where all the dirt hides. And just kind of give it a light spray everywhere. This bike wasn't too dirty, so we're not too worried about getting all the mud or anything off of it. And then I usually like to avoid spraying the brakes. Bike-specific wash is usually safe on brake pads, but you can never be too careful. It's really important to try and avoid contaminating your brake pads. So especially with bike polish and everything, definitely a no-go on the brakes. And then I'm just gonna focus on the drivetrain right here. That's usually where you build up the most grease and gunk. So it's nice that it foams. I'm just gonna backpedal, get that chain fully covered, and get that cassette all nice and clean. And then we're gonna grab our brushes. So I like to use more of an abrasive brush for the drivetrain. This really helps get all the really deep dirt and stuff. So once you let it sit for a little bit, we're gonna do a couple rotations, get it going. I like to just scrub right on the cassette. It helps clean the cassette, but you're also cleaning the chain at the same time. When it comes to tires and frame, I usually like to use a softer brush. Muck Off to make a really nice big brush. It does a good job at covering surface area on the tires, but I can also use it on the frame, and it kind of gets in the nooks and crannies without scratching any of the paint on there. So with mountain biking, it's super important that we protect the suspension on our bikes. So that's by far the most expensive product on there. So we're gonna avoid spraying water directly on the seals and spraying soap on the seals. If you get soap inside of your fork, it'll actually deteriorate all the oil on there, and then you have to run into replacing new seals and doing a whole rebuild just because it's not going to ride. So after washing your bike, it's really important that we either get an air compressor, just because we use a lot of water, so air gets in all the crevices, and you can't dry all that with a towel, so air compressor is key. I usually get a rag in my other hand so I can kind of catch any water flying off, and then I'll just use the air compressor. I'll start with the brakes, kind of get everything out of there, and then I'll move to the drivetrain. And then we're going to focus on all the suspension linkage. And then up on the headset, that's also another really creaky spot. If water gets in there, you kind of run into issues down the line. So your bike's all clean. Now we're just gonna focus on maintenance for the drivetrain and your suspension. So chain is really nice and clean. There's no more gunk on there. So I'm just gonna apply some squirt chain lube. This stuff is great for really dry weather. And I'm just gonna do a little bit on each link, run it all the way through. The nice stuff about this is you only really have to apply it once. You let it sit for a couple hours. You don't have to wipe it down or anything. And you should be good for a week or two as far as chain lube goes. So it's all nice in all the linkage. So we're gonna move on to the suspension now. I'm gonna pull the bike off for that. So we're just gonna focus on keeping these seals healthy. I like to use Saran butter. All I'm gonna do is get a little bit on my fingers and work it around the stanchion right here on both sides. And then I'm gonna do the shock as well on this rear seal. And now all that's left to do is cycle the suspension a little bit. This is gonna help get that grease in there. And it also helps kind of pull some dirt out in there that didn't get washed off with the water. I'm gonna cycle the back. And then we're gonna grab a clean microfiber to wipe this grease off. It's important to microfiber. Any other cloth is kind of abrasive, and your stanchions are really smooth and we don't wanna add any scratches or anything. And then you're just gonna grab it, you're gonna wrap it around the stanchion, and you're just gonna work it a little bit. Get all in the seal, work all the way up the seal, make sure it's really nice and clean. That way you don't get a lot of dirt buildup from the grease. All right. She's ready to ride. We're gonna call the customer and he's gonna come pick it up.
Hope you enjoyed that episode and the pro tip on how to wash your bike. I honestly didn't know anything about the water pressure, the bearings, and all that stuff, so great information for me. If you guys like that information, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what other pro tips you like. Alan's Bike Shop and the mechanics there are open to allowing me to film and bring you content that you guys want to see on the pro tip part of the segment. Alright guys, special thanks to Alan's Bike Shop in Murrieta. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one. See ya!